When are you going to be able to take final investment on your next project for carbon capture? Can you give me some insight into how you're thinking about that in a longer-term investment thesis?
Yeah, well, maybe, Alex, just to put a little more context around the work that we're doing there and the business that we launched on the low carbon solutions, there are really four critical elements that are going to make that business and carbon capture an important part of the solution going forward. First and foremost was the available technology today for carbon capture is fairly high cost and requires fairly concentrated sources of CO2. And so one of the big challenges in making that a technology that works more broadly and can be deployed more broadly is to lower the cost of that. And we've been working on the technology side for about over 10 years. Another important element that's required is government policies that make sure there's a transparent and explicit price on carbon that incentivizes those investments, regulations that support the investments, and the infrastructure required, legal frameworks, and a number of things from a government standpoint. We're seeing more and more focus from governments in this space, which is encouraging. We're seeing tech funds, so venture funds investing in this space, looking for opportunities to invest in carbon reduction opportunities. This is, I think, an opportunity for our low carbon solutions business. And then the fourth area is the demand for carbon and carbon offsets. As the economy works to decarbonize, they're looking for opportunities to find carbon offsets to help them achieve their objectives. You put all that together, it's converging at this point in time. It gives us a great opportunity to start a business to try to drive that. But those things have to work together and come together, and that's going to set the pace for the investment.
Okay, so not quite there yet in order to make that final investment decision. You mentioned the venture capital money, and it brings up what Occidental has done, which is basically they get other people to fund their direct air carbon capture investments. And I wonder, who might you think about partnering with to do something similar?
Well, I think, as I said, this is a growing space. If you look at the growth in venture funds in climate tech, they've been growing about 5 times faster than the average venture fund growth. And that growth then has really been concentrated in transportation and mobility. There's a big opportunity in the power generation sectors and the industrial sectors for additional investment there. So I think there's opportunities, which is part of what our new low carbon solutions business is going to be focused on, is finding people who are potentially interested in partnering and leveraging the capabilities that Exxon Mobil can bring to this space to make the investments and to reduce the amount of carbon in the atmosphere.
Delta, for example, or United has been one of those for Oxy. Have you been able to talk to corporates about this?
So I think that's the piece, that's the market demand piece that I was referring to. So companies that are in sectors that have difficulty decarbonizing are looking for opportunities to offset their carbon emissions, and we think that's an opportunity. So yeah, we'll be looking at that angle as well as the investment angle, bringing that together with our technology and then our projects capabilities, our operating experience in this space, and our facility footprint to see if we can't put those together and have a successful business that grows shareholder value.
Great, but you haven't talked to them yet, just to be totally clear on that?
So we established our low carbon solutions business on March 1st. So that business is now kind of coming up and running, and it's kind of in the early stages of engaging with these different forces that are coming together.